Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 10.33 and Third Reich events along with a few other mods. This is the sort of fast playthrough we're continuing. I still will be talking about things, obviously, but not focusing too heavy. Okay, well, it's still just 38. Okay, June. I'm just looking here. We can shift around the research, lower it down, make sure we get well over 100% officers for the starting of the war. Okay, ammunition capacity for aircraft. That's what that looks like. Armament. There we go. And probably also vent turrets, because I don't know that we need to continue doing that as well. Now that it's into 39, because we have down here, I thought we had a bunch, 38 still to do. I guess we've filled a lot of them. Maybe we'll be back on the 39 mountain infantry training. We're also gonna cancel that for the moment. Just trying to focus in on 38 stuff still. Well, maybe it's been a week since I played this. You probably know since it hasn't been released. Well, maybe we're already into 39 stuff. Not planning on doing everything. Well, here we go. Air superiority tactics and technician. Yeah, and ground attack tactics. Right, we'll get those done first. And we have none left. Over. Talking to my friend Exurgin the other day, a really great miniature painting artist, about Hearts of Iron 3 and Hearts of Iron 4. And he just doesn't want to play Hearts of Iron 3, and the stability issues have kept them away from the latest version. He's gone back to the earlier one. And just what could have been, shall we say, with Hearts of Iron 4 and sort of lamenting design choices that were made. Okay, this needs... What does not have stack tech? Okay, I know what that's referring to. Favorite died in a plane crash. There we go. We'll put you up there. Germany made, in my opinion, the right choice in not doing 4-engine strategic bombers in a major way. That they had severe engine production problems for aircraft as the main bottleneck. Most severe is with the jet engines, but still earlier they were trying to find enough engines, so that is so having 4 on a bunch of planes instead of 2 for a lot of the ranges that they had to deal with. And we see industrial efficiency advance. And we see that strategic bombing was not in and of itself a war winner. Frame. Engine airframe. Here, okay, I guess these are... They're almost done down here? Okay, no, not that. And transportable advance. Okay, I'm gonna take that off. Marine Corps activation. Which needs basing construction at least 2. Okay, well, okay, that's 39. Well, we're going to push a little early on that, not massively, but a little bit there. Okay, and that way, because we want to get landing craft. Yeah, I knew we were just there. Germany needs to win its wars, not with attritional means, bombing rear area production, bombing rear area supply areas, or killing off large numbers of enemy tanks. Because to my knowledge, they didn't kill large numbers of French tanks. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't kill a bunch. What they did do is just use their tanks efficiently to, you know, conquer France rapidly, not destroying all the enemy units. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So quantity has a quality all of its own. And being able to do a lot of operational missions, because you have a bunch of two-engine airplanes, some sort of like the 110 or the 410 that is used as ground attack and bomb carriers as at some point, not just the Stukas. And then like the DO-17s and the HE-111s, bigger airframes carrying a bigger load, partially just because of the inaccuracies, you know, of bombing and things like that, to do it more on a tactical scale, to do it more, not that we're stopping tank production, but we're blowing the few bridges that keep the tanks from moving for a few days or a few hours that allow us to have victories. So that kind of thing they need to have. Okay, submarine hull advance, very good. Grayed out, good. Submarine batteries probably also grayed out. Yep. Okay. Twin engine gun position. A gun position twin engine airplane. Some of these are ridiculously long. I'm not saying they're bad. It just they describe what they need to describe, but it's ridiculously long. Okay. Let's look down here for other 38. Things like that. It's in 40. Okay, 40. We'll do that sometime in 39 because we want to get that done. Okay, let's do ground attack. Because we do want our Stuka's fighter pilot training, yes, to operate well. And we could do our CAS pilot trainings to operate well as well. Okay, SA Marine, keep training. Again, that's them on a training vessel that they were using there. And you can sort of see in the background, I know I have to sort of point this out here. We're going to sort of show the context. So there's a boat over there. That's not a ship, but you can barely see it. It's the ship's rigging and sort of thing set up, built on to like the edge of the water. So you have the water on one side for training inland, inland in Germany. So they were training up sailors, you know, inland in Germany in here, as well as on the coast. I just find that fascinating because I didn't know those kind of things until doing research into the SA for this mod. And just how much training they were doing for the Army, how much training they were doing for the Navy, and the NSFK, which is just, at least starts out to some degree as a sub branch of the NSKK, but basically becomes its own thing too, is the sort of National Socialist training for the Air Force. Okay, submarine crew berthing, and that'll be grayed out, I'm sure, but we will still check. All right, okay. Just seeing also if there's something popping up there. Okay, 1939 industrial stuff. If there's civil defense repair rate, that's maybe the one I'm new industrial zone. We'll get that going. I think we're going to skip those. I think manpower back to the pool. Very good. If you've been playing this, and I know some of you already have, I forget who, but I remember the basic stuff. But stability issues posts would be nice. How far you got. Some of you've gotten into the war, I know, and done well. And I don't know whether it's why it works better for some people or not than others. Whether it's the particular hardware in your system, the operating system, though I did go back to my Win 7 machine that I still have and tried, and I still had stability issues. Oh, and well, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to do tank destroyers. That'll be good. Useful thing. Japanese youth leaders show up. Another newspaper of some sort. I forget without reading it right now. Okay, now pause. Why didn't you pause? Why don't you? Okay, well, why can't I set the pop up and pause for this? I don't know. Very good, and let's save this. Good, nice fast. From some of the feedback, if you get a nice fast save, great, keep playing. About every 10 minutes, try to make a save. And I know this is a bit nerve-wracking. Even Periscope Advance, which will be grayed out, won't it? Yes. Okay, let's come over here and we'll do armored car designs. If it's sort of a slow, not real super slow, but well, if it's super slow, still just let it go. But if it's a real sort of slowish but saves, once you save, just leave the game and come back in. You know, exit. Why aren't you popping up and pausing? Why can't I set this? I don't know. Mechanical computing. Really, Zeus work really, I don't think, actually gets into use during the Third Reich. He's working then. He's making prototypes. Okay. Submarine torpedo tubes advance. Not quite sure how you advance a torpedo tube. I'm sure there's ways, I just don't know. You know. Basically, I don't know. Open tube, let water in. Fire. Close. Outer tube. I don't know, do you pump out the water, I guess? I don't know, or you just let it flow into the submarine and then pump it out. That way when you open the thing up, maybe that's some of the improvements. I just don't know. Not suggesting that there aren't improvements to be done, but just don't know. Okay, I guess we are on the 39 stuff, so we're going to do some of the prerequisites for getting some of these other things going. General student, appoint him to the setting up the paratroopers. You see, like, paratroopers are another really tactical unit. You don't want to parachute troops behind the enemy and then do attritional warfare, because they're going to lose eventually. It's shock, it's fast, it's, you know, often overused nowadays, but shock and awe. I think this was aerial mines right there. Yes, oh right. But it's to delay the enemy's operations long enough so that your operations can be carried out, or carried out more efficiently. And that is where and how Germany did win, say, the Battle of France. How Germany was winning, but just not quite enough in North Africa until they got set into, they were unable to keep pushing because partially of geography, well, almost all of it because of geography. Either the Mediterranean's in the way and their ships were being sunk, or the Quattara Depression, they couldn't flank around. Okay, these are over here. If we're American, you have super. Okay, see, now we've unlocked this. So let's do the long range. It's a 36. We'll get to these soon. So, you know, paratroopers, whether it's, you know, the Normandy landings, it's not that they're going to go in and sit there and attrit the Germans. They go in there, you block immediate movement, but you move to link up with them. Would the Allied landings have been a success without the paratroopers? I absolutely believe so. I don't think that there was enough German forces in there that, you know, there were forces delayed because of Free French action, you know, blowing up railways and whatnot, bridges, just road bridges, all the bombing campaign to take out all along, not just around Normandy, but all along there, bombing campaigns to take out bridges and railway sections to stop reinforcements coming to a certain location because of that's going on. And then air operations trying to bomb, you know, moving columns of troops and trucks and whatnot after the invasion happens. That delays enough, in my opinion, any response Germany could have. And so the forces that were there, okay, we have now, I think, got enough of these because we were massively spamming this out. As you can see, massively, but we've gotten super low. And with Black Ice itself, but also particularly with my mod, I pay for a lot of things and supplies. So you will want supplies and something, maybe, well, yeah, there's checks in my mod for a lot of the smaller things. There's not checks for if you have enough supplies, so that could make it go negative. But the bigger ones, yeah, there are checks for that. Let's see how this goes. Definitely there's checks for that, but and there's also a lot of checks for how much supplies you have for Black Ice. Okay, again, you don't want to have this rolling while you're opening here. Okay, so we're just here now that we've got back to a more sane policy of, and we're still doing this to grind this down because we want to get that to 0. So, yeah, you know, the paratroopers, oh, I think they helped. I don't know how many lives they saved on the Allied side versus how many lives they cost to the paratroopers, but I don't think paratrooper activation, very good. Just what we're talking about. You know, they had overly high casualties, and I mean, they had casualties for sure, but I'm saying not overly high. We will do this. And the few more battalions up to the front could have caused more casualties on the beach or the sort of immediate aftermath. And they're securing some of the bridges that either the Germans would have blown up or would have used to cross to reinforce the defenses near the beach, or both. Get some forces across, and then when they're retreating, blow them up. Would have cost more lives than the Allies trying to push out. We don't know, but I think it would have been more. So, it was a smart use of paratroopers, I do believe. And it may be a critical one, not to the overall success, like I was saying, but to how successful the success was. All right. Okay, yeah, more pistols for security forces. Germany was in dire need, especially once the war really gets going, at pistols. Maybe not so much now. And a lot of those, like those pistols, are like mostly 32s, some are in 380s. Okay, no longer receive money for some supplies. So they're not really combat pistols, not just something you want to. You really don't want to go into combat with a pistol in the first place, but you want a 9mm or something like that, at least, if not a 45. Okay, transport ship engine. Okay, good. There at 1940 technology. And Kesselschlag advance. Okay, where do we have Kesselschlag? No, here. Okay, 39. Alright, you just get to keep doing it. We have to. Well. So it's more than just a tactical advantage Germany needs. It also needs a strategic one, but not a not for attritional warfare. Okay. Reinforcement is up 10% down from 5. Light anti-air advance for light ships. Okay, there we go. We wanted to stop that. We'll get to some of these others, but the Navy is secondary. But if we're going to do something, it's going to be first the Army, then the Air Force, I would say. Okay, we're going to start researching some rockets some more. So we are creeping up. I am watching this. I think it was at 84 when we started, or 85, but it's now 87. Okay, destroyer class advance, very nice. No other 38s here, right? Okay. Well, let's give training over here. And Knight of the Amazons, Grand Service Cross for Ford. So yeah, it's also a strategic operational element. I would say the paratroopers sometimes could come in under strategic, but definitely operational. Divisional command structure, is that one? Okay. Oh, blah 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 blah. Blitzkrieg doctrine, Blitzkrieg. Okay. It's hard to read some of these. 2 brigade structure, Blitzkrieg, lower that. These that. Okay. I don't know. Can't make sense of that. So, well, I'm sure we'll keep trying to research the correct things and we'll unlock it. So it's both a tactical and a strategical need to have a victory by maneuver and decision. Okay, Luftwaffe command down in Austria. Right, okay. There we go. Let's attach this to there. Let's attach you to not the one in Berlin. I think the one here. No, not that one. Oh, that's the one I just did. Gamer. There we go. Okay, airbase is down here. And that, okay. Now. Let's save this. Very good. And tank radios, okay. Up here, stop that. Get that training going. Okay. Take the planes. They don't need to fly anymore. We don't need to gain the descent. And yeah. Let them fly, lose in descent. Scrap them. We don't need the resources just yet. Seems awfully early for this thing. I know I said that before, but we'll take the reduced descent. And the Treaty of Munich. Right. Okay, well, we're going to end this episode here so I can do a Treaty of Munich episode next time. Thanks so much for liking the videos, subscribing, commenting. Commenting really helps. Thank you so much. See you next time.